I'm sorry. Charlie Kirk's wife is terrifying? What the And first things first, what she said about her daughter was very sad. Anyone should find that sad. Her kids having to deal with that, the way all this went down is messed up. But also, all your Charlie Kirk becoming a martyr concerns, all your retaliation concerns, all your this like emboldening the conservative Republican Party. She said, "You right, you ain't never lied. We about to turn up in this bit." It was just scary. And it was also scary that a lot of what she was saying was, I want to say intimidation, but really she was just like, his legacy will live on through me, his kids. Like, she's going to do that. I'm just going to say the women that have stood behind men that do terrible things historically in America, and yes, I'm including slave history, can be especially terrible. The wives of slave owners, the wives of some of the most terrible men that you've heard about can be especially terrible.
Hey guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Training Pulse Worldwide. My name is Amy if you're new here, and you're very welcome to join the family. Now today we're talking about Erika Kirk, and she stepped forward just days after her husband's tragic death, and the words she used are being replayed everywhere. And she spoke about carrying on his mission, about having a fire ignited inside of her. And she even said that the cries of a widow would echo around the world like a battle cry. You know, those words hit differently and they are sparking reactions across America. And people are emotional, people are talking, both black, white, young, old, and everyone seems to have something to say about the way Erika framed her message. Some people are touched by her strength and others are unsettled by the tone. And honestly, it's one of those moments where you just have to pause and say, this is not your everyday statement from someone in grief. So let's take a moment and see exactly how Americans are reacting to this. Then I'll be back shortly.
They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Like, looking into the camera and, like, threatening us. Like, what is she doing? Why is she acting like we did it? Gosh, her children, that's horrible. Why isn't she with them right now? And why is she giving a speech in full face, like less than 2 days?
The speech was very, very different from what I expected. Like, your husband passed away tragically, suddenly, a few days ago. She's so well, like, she's not sad at all. It was very much given, like, you taking over a dynasty that you've been wanting all along. I'm just saying, like, it was not giving sad to me. So why you yelling at the people on the internet, trying to make people lose their jobs, okay? Because she's not sad her damn self.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know how I feel about Erika Kirk's interview that she's given to the press. I don't think for a second, if that was me or many other people that had happened to and you'd seen that play out, that I could stand on that stage so articulate, so with it, if that happened to me in my situation. I don't know if I could stand there, give a statement, give a speech for that long, go down memory lane and keep it together. I mean, I know that people deal with grief very differently and people go into a state of shock, but only a few days after, I mean, I don't know what's going on in her head. Like, I couldn't possibly imagine that. But I couldn't get up on that stage and do that. I couldn't. I think I would have been so traumatised by what I had seen. It's one thing seeing someone else have that happen to them when you're not in their circle or situation. But to have it happen to one of your own, that would have been very difficult. And I'm not sure that I could do that. And I'm not sure how she's doing it. Now, I just want to make it clear, I am not mocking her for getting up on that stage and doing what it is that she's doing in terms of her speech and talking about the passing of her husband. I'm not. I just find it difficult based on my own emotions to the situation if I was to switch it round.
So Erika Kirk just gave a speech about her late husband, Charlie Kirk. But let's be clear, this is not a grieving widow. This is the most dangerous kind of woman, the male-centered woman. She stood up there and she called Charlie the perfect husband, the perfect father, and she promised that his voice, his movement, his mission will live on through her. But what was his mission? Right, inciting hate against minorities, against immigrants, against black people, against queer people, against women, us. She is not just mourning, she is sanctifying a man who spent his entire career demonizing the very communities that he put at risk. She is taking his politics of cruelty and she is trying to baptize them in widow's grief so that they appear holy, untouchable and righteous. And that is the male-centered trap. Women who build their entire identities around a man, no matter how harmful he is, and then become the mouthpiece for his legacy. It's the patriarchy's favorite tool because if she says it, suddenly it looks more soft, more emotional, more justified. But don't get it twisted, because Erika Kirk's battle cry of a widow is not about love or healing. It's about rallying people to continue her husband's hate. And that's why we have to call it what it is, dangerous.
This one is probably going to be a little bit divisive, but I've seen the video of Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, and her quite bizarre kind of setup for a statement about the loss of her husband. Now, as somebody who's kind of recently lost a very close family member under quite kind of tragic and traumatic circumstances, I can understand how grief is very different for everyone. But what I can't get my head around is that this woman lost her husband a matter of days ago, has 2 young children with him, yet is able to stand, deliver a kind of faultless statement, pre-written statement, obviously, with a smile on her face for a lot of it. It looks like crying, but there are no tears. And the weird thing is that it's in a really staged setup with a photo of Donald Trump as the Times Magazine Man of the Year or whatever it was, and 2 MAGA hats. And also, why is she completely in white? Like, again, I know it's grief and people grieve differently. It's so weird to have this, what looks like, it looks like a marketing piece, is the long and short of it. Like, it feels very cold and very sterile and just very, very bizarre for somebody who lost her husband so tragically. Why is one of the first things that she's doing going out and making this statement thanking the likes of JD Vance and Donald Trump? There's so much already that rings weird about this whole situation, and it doesn't add up. And this really adds to it. Am I the only person that's seeing that and is being a bit like, this is odd?
All right, let's get into it. First of all, one of the things people are really pointing out is the way Erika spoke in her statement. And many are asking, why did she keep using the word you, almost like she was talking to a group of people instead of just one individual? Because in reality, it was only one man who carried out this act. And everyone knows exactly who it was. So when she says, some people feel that sounds broader, almost as if she's aiming her words at a larger group, not just the person who pulled the trigger. And then another layer of controversy is the fact that she used the phrase, the evildoers responsible, and that is plural. People online are saying, why make it sound like there were multiple people involved? when in fact it was just one person, and even more importantly, it was that person's own father who turned him in. But the part sparking the most conversation is the tone itself. Her words, "You have no idea what you have just unleashed," and the cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry. It didn't come across like a grieving statement, because to many Americans it feels like more like a warning, almost even threatening. And that is why you're seeing all this pushback. And people are saying this wasn't just a message to the man involved. This was framed in a way that sounded much larger and maybe even political. So guys, that was just my take on it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's have this discussion and let me know what you think about this conversation. And before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories here at Trending Pulse Worldwide. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Amy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay blessed.